The clothes we wear are poisoning us and the planet we live on. Sounds frightening, does it not? It's a thought that seems plucked straight from a dystopian novel, isn't it? But here's the truth. This is not a mere fragment of fiction. We're already inhabiting this world. The perpetrator of this environmental crime? Fast fashion. Fast fashion, an eloquent term that conceals the grim truth behind it. It is the business model that encourages the rapid manufacturing of cheap, in vogue clothing, aiming to cater to the ever-changing whims of fashion trends. For years, this model has been the target of fervent criticism, primarily due to the significant environmental impact it has. A comprehensive report by the Changing Markets Foundation, aptly titled Synthetics Anonymous, unveils the dark underbelly of the fashion industry. It exposes how it thrives on the heavy reliance of cheap petroleum-derived synthetic fabrics. This dependency leads to an escalating cycle of environmental degradation and greenwashing. Brands such as Shein are brought to the spotlight in this report as major contributors to the burgeoning plastic fashion phenomenon. But the damage isn't restricted to our environment alone. There is an equally, if not more, grave risk posed to our health. Synthetic fibers, with polyester leading the charge, are projected to dominate production by 2040. This domination signals a looming threat of pollution and puts the health of countless workers at risk. But the roadblocks to addressing these issues are substantial. One of the biggest challenges is transparency, or more accurately, the lack thereof in supply chains. Many brands, in an attempt to maintain their competitive edge, choose to keep their production information under wraps, particularly when it pertains to production. This lack of disclosure further fuels the problem, making the road to a solution longer and harder. Transparency in supply chains is lacking, with many brands failing to disclose information on synthetic production. So, what's the toxic truth behind fast fashion? Allow me to elucidate. Fast fashion, as it turns out, is not just a fleeting trend. It is a deeply entrenched mechanism in consumer society, driven by our unquenchable thirst for the newest, the latest, the most fashionable. But what's the cost of this relentless pursuit of style? The cost, unfortunately, hits us where it hurts most: our environment, our health, and our future. It's a damaging cycle that many of us are unwittingly a part of in our pursuit of latest trends that we often quickly discard. Brands like Shein, Zara, H&M, and Fashion Nova, among many others, embody this problem. They are the leading names in fast fashion, constantly launching new collections and enticing affordable price tags. These brands are manufacturing clothes at an alarming rate, a speed that our planet simply cannot sustain. Their speedy, cut-corner production processes often involve the use of harmful chemicals and unethical, unsustainable practices. Take lead as an instance. It's a toxic substance ubiquitous in our environment and, unfortunately, in our clothes too. The usage of lead in the production of clothes, especially those that are produced cheaply and quickly, is worryingly common. The health ramifications of lead exposure are severe. Lead poisoning can lead to a myriad of health problems, including brain and nerve damage, behavioral abnormalities, and developmental issues in children. This toxic substance, once a common ingredient in paint, has been banned from many products due to its dangerous nature. Yet it continuously finds its way into our wardrobes. It's a stark reminder of the dark underbelly of fast fashion, a constant threat that lurks in our drawers and closets, wrapped in bright patterns and designs, all hidden beneath the glitz and glamour of the fashion industry. Yet it can be found in some clothes, especially those produced cheaply and quickly. But there is hope. Ethical fashion brands, prominently Reformation, are pioneering in the field of sustainable fashion, setting trends for others to follow. These brands have not only managed to make a mark for themselves, but are also ushering in a new era of environmentally friendly fashion. Their approach is unique and innovative, as it involves integrating sustainability into every facet of their operations. Beginning with the sourcing of materials, these brands adopt ethical practices. They prioritize using recycled materials or organic fabrics over traditional, harmful alternatives. This process greatly reduces the ecological footprint left by the production process. They are conscious of where their materials come from and the impact that their sourcing has on the world. Moving further into their operations, even their manufacturing practices are imbued with green principles. These brands partner with manufacturers who share their ethos, ensuring that their garments are produced in an eco-friendly manner. They champion for the use of renewable energy in their factories and strive for a minimal waste production process. At each step of their supply chain, from the design stage to the packaging, they implement practices that are intended to reduce their environmental impact. Beyond just their operations, these brands also engage in educational efforts. They are actively involved in raising consumer awareness about the importance of sustainable fashion. Through their marketing campaigns, they highlight the harmful impact of fast fashion and advocate for mindful consumerism. Their efforts extend to their retail stores, where they encourage customers to buy less but buy better, shifting the focus from quantity to quality. Successfully, they prove that ethical fashion can be mainstream, with increased consumer awareness and demand. The rise of ethical fashion brands like Reformation signifies a hopeful shift in the fashion industry, a shift towards more sustainable and ethical practices. They are leading by example, showing that it is possible to marry fashion with sustainability, proving that style does not have to come at the expense of the planet. So, the next time you're tempted by the latest trend, remember the toxic truth behind fast fashion. Consider this. Every minute, the equivalent of one garbage truck of clothes is dumped in a landfill or burned. That's a staggering amount of waste, isn't it? But the story does not stop at the mere disposal of these items. Fast fashion's impact on our environment is not just limited to the waste it creates. The production processes involved are equally culpable. It takes around 2,700 liters of water to produce just one cotton shirt. And the pesticides used in non-organic cotton farming are some of the most toxic substances known to man, contaminating our waterways, harming wildlife, and posing significant threats to human health. Bear in mind also the human cost. Workers in fast fashion factories often labor under poor, unsafe, and inhumane conditions. They are underpaid, overworked, and denied basic human rights. Is fleeting satisfaction from a quickly outdated piece really worth the suffering of our fellow humans? Now think, are you willing to be part of this destructive cycle? Consider the impact of every purchase you make. Choose quality, ethically produced items over cheap, disposable ones. Sustainability should reign over the speed of fashion cycles. When you invest in clothing that has been made with care, respect for the environment, and fair trade practices, you are not just wearing a piece of fabric. You are wearing your values, your beliefs, and your commitment to making the world a better place. And remember, knowledge is power. Share this information with friends, family, or anyone who will listen. Start a conversation about the true cost of fast fashion and challenge others to think about their consumer habits. More people know, the more they can make informed choices about what they wear. Continue to educate yourself about this pressing matter. Look for brands that align with your values and support them. Your choices matter, and they have the power to bring about change. And don't forget to subscribe, share, and like this video, and to all happy trails.